What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Alito Bay at 1611.
Yep, beautiful in here. Disgusting outside right now.
Yeah, it's a little, you say disgusting, it's like misty, but at least it's not 105.
That's true. It is cooled off a little bit.
Yes, it has. So, but club reviews.
Yeah, absolutely. Mizuno. So we talked, we will have the new ES21 wedge. It's like the brand new hottest thing out. That's going to be coming out in...
Sneak peek.
Yeah, that's going to be coming out in October.
Right.
Right now, Mizuno has the T20 wedge out. This wedge is going to stay. It's not leaving. This is more of their kind of, what would you call it, like a player's wedge, performance wedge. It's
normal,
all forged. It's like your classic traditional wedge. So they've got all your lofts that you want, 58, 54, 60, 50, 52, bounces, all that kind of stuff. So you can get all those things ordered. They are coming stock like most everybody's wedges now. It's coming with a tour issue S4 or S3. What's that one got in it?
S4.
S4. And I think I saw like on the 56 or the 60 or something. It has, I think the 60 and the 58 come stock with the S3.
Gotcha.
But
yeah, I don't know why you'd want to go more than that on a wedge. Like even a guy that plays X1s,
yeah.
I most cases on like my 60 degree or my 58, whatever my lob wedge would be, I would actually go with
something softer.
Really soft. The whole point is to generate spin.
Well, and why would you? I mean, how often do you sit there and generate enough speed with your 58 to flex an X1?
Yeah, and that's typically, I don't know what your setup looks like, and this is something cool that I think we should dive into in a later video after this club review is wrapped up and talk about cause and effects of loft lie and shafts.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's huge. Especially, I mean, I have plugged to the guys at Artisan.
Yep.
Best, I would consider them probably best in the business, probably some of the smartest guys out there.
At least in Texas, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And Mike, talking to Mike about wedge shafts or pipes as he likes to call them, it is, yeah, there is hours upon hours of information out there with him.
Whether
hopefully,
you want it or not.
Fingers crossed, maybe we can get in there and get a couple.
But say the downside of them being so good means they're also very busy.
Yes.
And so just getting them to carve out an hour for us has been challenging.
Yeah, they're pumping out wedges and putters and everything else like it's going out of style.
So.
But with that being said,
back to this.
Mizuno. Yes, T20, very classic.
So what's your first initial reaction looking at this, just sight unseen?
It looks like it honestly has a little bit higher toe and
a little bit.
Maybe it's not so much a higher toe, but the face looks wider to me.
When you mean wider, you mean toe to heel?
Sole from
vertically
across the face. Yes.
Gotcha. Sole to top line.
Yeah.
Top line?
I guess that's right. But yes, vertically across
this
the
way.
face, going up. When you look at it going up.
Or now down.
Pretty long neck on it.
That's kind of become wedges here as of lately, though. I don't know if that's for increased stability. Because obviously the longer the neck, hypothetically, the less torque you're going to get. Or gear. What is it? Gear effect?
Yep.
That kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's trying to counter that. But I mean, even back to like the Mickelson grind on the Mac Daddies. I don't know if it's technically a Mac Daddy wedge, but the Callaway wedge with the high toe.
Yep.
That had a huge neck too. And that was really the first one I saw that did that. All the high toes started doing that, and I just figured it was a counteracting thing for the high toe.
Something to go. Yeah, I don't know.
But now everybody's doing it. So,
other thing, these are like the very first thing that I noticed when I just picked this up and held onto it. I play a standard grip. I'm actually fixing to move to a mid-size grip, but this is the Z grip, Golf Pride.
I love this grip.
It feels really good. It feels insanely thin. Like it
Yeah,
feels
it does. It's
so
firmer.
skinny.
Yeah.
Whenever I grabbed a hold of it, I was like, it honestly felt like I was just holding straight onto the metal, like there wasn't anything there.
I switched to these grips, not the size, but the Z cord, and I went from, so I always had one, maybe plus 2 wraps on a standard, just because I like very firm grips. The thing about these grips is that because they're so firm, there's just not a lot of material there. So they do feel a little skinny. Now, they are actually not. I looked into their specs. They're exactly the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
But you're right. Because they're firmer, I think they feel that way. So
smaller.
I went to a straight midsize. And the reason why I never went to a midsize before in a grip and just put extra wraps is because when you go to a midsize, there's more rubber, hypothetically, a little bit squishier.
squishier.
I hate squishy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the anti-win guy. If you know, like the old win wraps that are like big poofy.
I've played my whole life. Tour Velvets is what I've always played. I'll go 2, maybe 3 wraps under my right hand.
Yep.
But that was also before the +4
Yeah.
world came out. So basically I was doing like a +3, +2, something under there. Just take a little taper out. But yeah, with all that being said, like this felt crazy skinny to me as soon as I grabbed a hold of it. I mean, it is what you see in wedges.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it looks.
I do feel like the top
like
line's a little bigger though.
A little thicker.
Yeah. And I think that's just where wedges are going.
Yeah.
You know, we've looked at the the T World wedges are that way. Not as bad, but they are that way.
The SM, some of those Vokies I've seen getting real thick at the top.
Right. Now,
like
when they were the
7s.
Was it the 7s that had the CG weighting thing?
Yes, that was
those were very, very bad because especially on a 50-degree or a gap wedge for Voki.
You see the top of it a lot?
Yeah, that weight got moved up to bring the CG down because that club was more of a full swing club versus like a 58 or a 60 that is really not. And I have a theory that the reason why I play a 58 is I'm never, and with the shaft I put in it, I'm never going to hit that more than 40 yards away from the green.
Yeah.
It's my get out of trouble, flop over a sand trap,
I got away
deep
from
rough.
I mean, so it's a different video.
Yeah, we get.
I'm fixing to get sidetracked on lofts. But, well, let's tap some and see what happens.
Now, just out of curiosity, what wedges are you playing right now? We're not going to hit them, but.
I've got the T Worlds in my 50.
So the Hanma.
Yeah, the Hanma in my 50 and 54.
I don't even know what I'm playing.
And then another plug. I've got an Artisan 58.
And I have the apparently Mac Daddy 4s.
Whoa!
That the grooves are just smooth now. I've re-drilled those grooves at least 5 times.
Really?
And if you can hear the rave party that's going on outside at the moment.
ZZ Top rocking back there.
I don't think you're going to be able to, but just in case you hear that in the background. Sorry. So this is probably as close to a normal setup for you.
Yeah.
In a wedge.
I mean, it's basically the same. What shaft I have?
We didn't even say this. What club are you actually hitting?
This is the 54.
Okay, and I'm holding the 50, but I'm going to swing the 54.
Yeah. So this is Other than being bent for me, this is pretty standard.
And you're typically bent to what?
Well, changing that. So
Standard.
typically I've been 1 up. I'm actually going to 1 flat.
Really?
Yep.
And if you want to find out more why he's going to 1 flat, keep an eye out for our cause and effect video that apparently we're going to shoot.
Yes. Yeah.
We might even do it right here. The only downside of that is we don't have the Mitchell machine here. It's over at the other location.
Yeah, that'll be a good one to be able to go in and start bending stuff. Get some old club.
Yep. Shit, we can use mine. I don't care. Little shut face there. So what's your reaction on feel?
Feels good. It's soft.
It's now Mizuno. We talked about this when we did the 921 Tour review. You know, Mizuno, especially back and I'm going to say the 90s and early 2000s, which is about the time you and I would have been in high school, right? That doesn't suck right there.
Trackman tells the truth.
You know, Mizuno, we talked about that with like the MP33s and MP32s and all, and the 18s, I think is what you said.
Yep.
You know, back then, Mizuno
was the hot club, man.
It was the hot club, and it was the forged club to have.
It was the one that everybody saw. There was, you know what's funny when you see those forged things, there was another company that came out with one that was a beautiful looking blade, and it just...
Trash.
I don't know if they were fighting back. No, it was phenomenal. They were fighting back or whatever, but it was the McGregor tourney.
Oh, I remember that.
Tourney blade looked so good,
right.
And then it just, I'm assuming somebody big ate them up and
well,
took
and
them over.
You know, McGregor, those lines that were so around in the 70s and 80s.
McGregor and Wilson.
Wilson is the one that kind of is trying to make that comeback. Another shameless plug to videos. If you haven't checked out the D7 Forged video, that's one of the more popular ones, at least on the Maverick channel.
So why am I going?
Aaron's trying to fix his swing all of a sudden.
There's a little bit why I'm changing it.
You can also kind of tell based on the screen you're seeing, this is still set up exactly the same way from when I was working with a guy, and we were talking about spin access and fitting for his clubs and all that stuff. And if you notice, like everything up here was for me to judge his swing, but then at the very last second, I threw spin access up there. So it's, because spin access is really, I mean, it'll change swing to swing a little bit, but I think it gives you a much more telling idea of what the club's doing a little bit. Dynamic lie.
There's one riding up the face a little bit.
Yeah, a little
distance
bit.
change.
Yeah, but it was a lot straighter, and your spin axis dropped to negative 1.4, which means it's going a little bit to the left. And we've gotten way off topic again. We're reviewing golf clubs, not fixing your swing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny what happens whenever you get the club outside and set at the top where I want it and rotate through it and keep your shoulder down.
Instead of being down here and trying to come in the shallow and flip hard at it.
Sleepy swipey. Here you go. Bust it.
Trade.
It I mean, you definitely know whenever, if you mishit one.
I don't want anybody to see what I might do here.
When you mishit it, so like I hit probably 4 or 5 of them out on the toe, and you can see it on the club where it's those grooves are sharp and it's chewing that golf ball up.
Yeah, you can even, I mean, and that's some of the benefits of a brand new wedge, and that's.
I mean, I took the plastic off these last night. They haven't even been touched.
And that's something about, you know, when you're talking about wedges, that's so important too, is understand when your grooves need to be cleaned up. You can sometimes just buy one of those little sharpening tools and
scrape
do it. But I mean, realistically, I go about 30 rounds and I sharpen them. And then I go, you know, I'll practice 30 rounds plus practice. And then from there, I might actually take them in and have them re-drilled once or twice. And then after that, it's time for new wedges. Yeah,
I mean, you can have the faces redone on them, blasted. Not if they are chrome.
No, well, you can, you just shouldn't.
Yeah, you talk about your wedge not lasting very long.
Today's that first day in Texas where this morning was like a little like, ooh. Yeah. We've had some cold fronts roll through. It was low 60s. I'm fat, so I didn't need a pullover, but he rolled in with a pullover. I'm insulated for a while. Gotta tell you, that feels good, man.
It does feel really good.
That's like my little generic, I call it a 75-yard shot, and it's going 90, but like a little 3/4, just rotate. Yeah. Kind of stick and rotate.
Yeah, I mean, you can, it is,
oh, that was a little thin.
If you miss one, you know you miss it. It's not super forgiving feeling.
A traditional forge, like I low grooved that one a little bit. Let's see, TrackMan actually, we'll throw it up there now. No.
Yep, it should go straight up. Yep, a little low.
Yep, so I load that a little bit. If you notice, my total went up to 102.3. My club speed was a few miles an hour faster, but not much.
Yeah, it's not super forgiving feeling. I mean, you hit it in the center though, or anywhere around the center. Right. It feels really good.
Yeah, but that's typical of forged clubs. I mean, there's a reason why. I mean, you know, these really aren't designed and meant for your 25 handicappers.
That's what the ES21 is for.
Right. Preview.
Yeah, there it is.
You know what we don't have on the screen that we should have?
Spin?
Yeah, backspin. '93. Eek. Love new wedges.
Yeah. And that's another thing that you kind of have to realize, and we see some of this if you go back and look at the and watch the TrackMan Q&A video.
Yeah.
So we're getting you will get higher spin rates with wedges in here because of friction, and you're clipping it.
Yep.
It's a tight lie.
It'll drop at least 1,000 if you go outside.
Yes, you go outside, and especially if you get on a range that hasn't been mowed in a little bit, you think it's a quote-unquote tight lie, but there's still some shag in there, and then you're spinning it, 7,000, 8,000. That's pretty close to center.
Yeah, good enough for me.
Yeah, 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that we can talk about in a future video, but the fact that you're technically kind of catching flyers out there.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going out and playing a high-end golf course or a nice country club or other things like this, and yeah, you should be hopefully getting those tight lies in the fairway that would be more like this, where you're pinching it, clipping it, and you're getting your 9,000, 10,000.
Call that tour ready.
Yes. But your average muni you go play on the weekends, No.
First cut of rough on the tour.
Yes.
Wing foot, well, wing foot's a little different. Yeah. That's one of those you could step on your golf ball and not realize it was there. Oh, that was thin.
Unless you just hit it so far that it doesn't matter.
What's your, you know what we didn't talk about? Huh. Who is this for? We do that every video, and that's something that nobody else really does. So I just walked off screen.
I would say this wedge right here is probably not for your higher handicap. Just on the forgivability, is that a word?
Yeah,
but
forgiveness.
Yeah, so your forgiveness with this is just really not there. If you are I would say probably a single digit handicap. Not to,
listen, if you prefer that forged feel, then yeah, go for it. Just understand that this is not what's about to come out from Mizuno. This is not a Vokey. This is not
hit it all over the face, and you're going to get the same, maybe not the same kind of feel, but you're going to get relatively the same kind of shot, produce the same kind of spin, all that kind of stuff.
And you have to work less hard, but this, if you're a player and you want to get a little more out of a golf club, i.e., I need to flop this up in the air, I need to generate a little bit more spin, I want to take some spin off of this, and you understand how to execute those things in a shot, this is you. So, and that's what we really mean when we say a single indexer, is because it's your margin of error is smaller, but your ability to do more is higher, which is always the trade-off with golf clubs. Yeah,
workability is there, forgiveness not as much. But I mean, as far as if I'm going to go look at wedges, and I'm going to look at a forged wedge, I would definitely want to look at this and put this in.
I've been super impressed with the Mizuno stuff. I mean, the irons were ever bad by any means. They just kind of, they do things differently, so their marketing's not there. So they're always kind of that really good company that's on just the back side of everybody going, I want to come into the cool party.
They're just not, they just don't have the budget of the Callaways, the TaylorMades, and Titleist, the big four. So, yeah, I give it a thumbs up. I mean, I guess of course we've talked about that. We haven't really had a club come in that's like, go ahead and take that one back.
That's true, we haven't. And I think that's the cool thing about golf is, especially when you talk about the big manufacturers, I'm sure there's some out there where, like what's the old infomercial, the Hammer X?
Yeah,
Hammer.
What's the one now that's the Square Striker? Square Striker. It's like,
I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's like a little chipper. Basically, it's a 7-iron.
Oh, that thing. Yeah,
producing as like the chipping club. Like, I mean, you just
don't buy a chipper. Just get better.
Save the club and just use your 7-iron.
Well, and the other side of that would be, and my argument to the chipper is, take a damn lesson.
That's true.
Please don't embarrass yourself or your coach or your playing partners or your mom or your wife or your kids.
Walk out there with your chipper putter.
Yeah.
Dink, dink, dink.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We obviously, this is that time of the year where we're trying to power through a lot of these things. We've said it, Golf Pro Christmas is here essentially. Rumors, we might be getting our hands on a Titleist here soon. I may have made some phone calls.
All right.
I know that they are just now releasing all the big media guys versions of that.
TS, whatever, TSI.
Yeah. Hey, Rick Shields, when you're done with it, just ship it to me. I'll pay for it.
Shoot it across the pond.
Yeah, it'll be cheap. Remember that pay for? Split, half. But yeah, there's stuff coming. You've got the Titleist drivers, you've got the new line, the Big Bertha stuff from Callaway, the BB21.
Yep, they got their new Bertha stuff coming out, that's right.
So all of that, we're doing our best to get our hands on it as quickly as possible, to get it out to you guys as quickly as possible. And I know, at least on behalf of my channel, and I'm sure you'll appreciate this as well, both of us have seen a little bit of an influx of subscribers and views as of lately, so thank you.
Yes,
First of all.
Thank you for subscribing, and thank you. I've had some comments and stuff coming in. Put them down there.
Yeah.
We will reply. We'll talk it up and chat it up as much as we can.
Sometimes if you get lucky too, and if you see 1611 Sports, it's Aaron. Like on my channel, and if you see Maverick on his, it's me.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get into it, sometimes for the fun of it on each other's channels, so you might find a little nugget of trash talk in there because, quite frankly, we're both competitors first and foremost, I think. You know, I played a bunch of professional golf. I don't know if you ever played professional golf or not, but I mean, other than just like the tournaments we play now as golf pros. But yeah, there's always that little competitive juices flow in there. So
always.
Yeah, there's little fun nuggets. You can find some in there. In fact, we might just do that a little bit more and just
get a little ribbon in there, a little chirp.
Yeah, especially if it's a challenge video, and I may or may not have gotten my ass completely kicked, which seems to be the theme here as of lately for some reason. But anyway, thank you all. If you want to see something specifically, we've got some ideas for some fun videos.
Yes, yeah.
Things that'll probably make you laugh a little more if you think back to like the
treadmill. Speed golf.
We're not doing that again. Let me rephrase that. I'm not doing that again.
Ryan's a one and done on that one.
Go out on top, baby.
It's true.
I will always be the champion, and if I don't come back, it's like, I'm still the champion. Just because there's another guy doesn't mean shit. Go out on top. Remember that, young athletes.
Always finish.
But yeah, we want this to be interactive, and I think we're getting to that size where we can have that conversation.
Yep.
And say, what do you guys want to see? I think it would be fun to maybe bring in one of your viewers and one of my viewers and have a Maverick versus 1611 challenge.
Let's do it.
So,
I'd like to be in on that.
Yeah.
Put something down there.
What I would tell you is go follow both of our accounts on Instagram. Maybe we'll pick from over there because we both have a decent little Instagram following now. So, what's your handle on Instagram?
Just 1611 Sports.
Yep, and same Maverick Performance Golf. Well, it's not the same as 1611. Same as everything else.
Yeah.
Words are hard.
Yeah, difficult talking today.
All right. Whew. It's early, but we both apparently need a beer.
Something.
Even though I'm not drinking during the week.
Yeah, me neither.
It's about to start raining again, by the way. Thanks, Apple, for your iWatch notifications.
What are we doing?
I'm leaving. Bye.
See y'all later.